Servus and welcome to Flo's German Kitchen. I'm Flo, this is my kitchen, and I show you how to cook the German way. But today we're not really cooking, we're making sauerkraut. It's sauerkraut season in Germany. Cabbage is being harvested right now. These are 2 fresh cabbages and we're gonna make sauerkraut from them. Yes, you can buy sauerkraut in the store and it's okay, but making your own stuff is always an upgrade to your cooking. There are not a lot of ingredients. Actually, the only 3 things you need is cabbage, salt, and of course a good guzzle of German beer. Wunderbar. First thing you do is to save 2 or 3 of the big leaves on the outer shell of the cabbage. You will need them to cover the kraut later. So just remove a couple of leaves and put them aside. Next is you chop off the stems. Cut it in quarters. Be careful doing that. Don't chop off your fingers. Cabbage, great. And now you cut out the stems. So next thing is you chop the kraut into small strips. And yeah, it depends. Some people like it very, let's say, rough. But I really like the very, very fine stripes. And you add it to the bowl and cut.
Cold fall morning, cabbage white, sharp knife dancing feels just right. Slice by slice, so thin and true, simple work for me and you. Salt comes down, we rub and press, juice runs free, a salty mess. Slice it, salt it, pack it tight, stoneware crock, a humble sight. Trust the time, no rush, no doubt, that's how you make good sauerkraut.
Of course, you can also use a mandolin for that, but yeah, I don't know. I just do it by hand for whatever reason. If there are pieces of the stem still, I'll take them out. I don't like that. Some people leave it in because they think it's, yeah, a bit more chewy, but not for me. And for people in Germany that make their own kraut very often, there is a special Krauthobel. It is also a kind of a mandolin, just that it's of much bigger size, so that you can just take a whole head of cabbage at one time. So here we go. That's the result of 1 head of cabbage. Next thing is that we add the salt. The salt is measured by the amount of cabbage, by the weight of cabbage. This is about 1.5 kilo of cabbage. You take 15 grams of salt per kilogram of cabbage. So that is round about 20 to, I'll just take 25 grams of salt because I like it salty. So I'll just weigh the salt, and yeah, that doesn't need to be very, very exact. 25.4, that's good. The purpose of the salt is to get the kraut to release its liquid, to make it soft, and that's also why I need it right now. And this takes a while, but the salt and the kneading will do the job.
Down it goes beneath the brine, weight on top, we give it time. Quiet days and silent weeks, nature works while no one speaks.
So I've been kneading that for maybe 2 to 3 minutes now, and you can already see it's getting moist. It starts to release the water. This can be pretty exhausting when you do it by hand. So what my dad did when he was making sauerkraut, when I was a little boy, I don't remember how old I was exactly, but he had a barrel made of stoneware, and when he made sauerkraut, my mom would wash my feet and my dad lifted me into that barrel, and I would just stomp on the kraut to get the same result. So that came in pretty handy for my dad because he didn't have to do it by hand. And I remember I had lots and lots of fun just, well, not jumping in, but stomping the kraut in that barrel. It was nice memories. Long time ago. And you can see the kraut has become much less in volume. And later on we have to put it in either my small stoneware krautfass, or you can also use a mason jar. So for picking the right size of vessels, you just calculate 1 liter space for 1 kilogram of cabbage. It took me about 10 minutes of kneading, but now this is really, it released a lot of liquid and I can start filling it into the pot. For most of the kraut, I will use my stoneware pot, but as you can see, there is no chance for you to see what's happening inside. That's why I also took a mason jar, and I will start with that. The most important thing when you're filling it is that you don't have any air inside the kraut. That's why you fill some and then stomp it, because in the end it's absolutely essential that the kraut is covered with the liquid completely. Otherwise it will get spoiled. And now you can really give it a good squish. And you can see that looks pretty well already. Okay, always leave some space on top. If you have small hands, you can also squish it with your hands. This looks good. This is nicely covered, and you want to make sure that none of the kraut strips get in any way in touch with the air. So that's what you keep the big leaves for. You use them to cover the surface of the kraut. And you know, when there is liquid on top of that covering leaf, you'll be fine. To make sure that it stays that way, I will add some weight. I will use a jar like that, and to adjust the height so that it's pressed down pretty well, there is some pro tip. You can just take a piece of the stem and then have it firmly pressed down, and you're safe. The jar stays like that for 7 days at room temperature. Make sure it's not exposed to sunlight. Keep it somewhere shady. Don't use the rubber band yet, because the fermentation process makes the kraut release some air, some liquids, and so yeah, these need to be able to get out of the jar. So keep it that way for 7 days. After 7 days at room temperature, you add the rubber band and put it into the refrigerator, and you keep it there for really long. Now is the moment of truth. 3 weeks have passed. The kraut has been fermenting. The first impression when I open it, It smells like sauerkraut. Let's see. So first thing is I remove the big leaves. You remember those were meant to cover the kraut strips. We're not gonna eat that. But now we have the real kraut. Now let's try. Yeah, the flavor is already the flavor of sauerkraut, but it's still crisp, fresh. But you can definitely eat it raw. When you cook it, the benefits of the biotics will be gone. So how do you eat raw kraut? Of course you can eat it like that, but I mean, that's not a meal, that's just eating kraut. And I did some research and I actually found people saying you can eat it on a piece of bread. And that's what I'm gonna try now. Here is some of my homemade German Besenleib bread. I'm gonna just give that a try. If you want to know how to bake your own bread, check out this video here. I've made that already. Now I'm curious. Yeah, this is tasty. This is definitely a snack I could eat. I would probably add actually a little more salt, and I would add butter to the bread. But it's a good snack. But now let's get to the real thing. Cooked sauerkraut and of course a bit of bratwurst with it. Here we go. I'll just add kraut to the pot. How am I gonna make this and not create too much of a mess? Oh, works pretty well. That's enough for now. Next thing is I add a cup of my good Aldi Riesling Chardonnay. Yeah, a little more. Some more salt. Bay leaf. And a couple of juniper berries. I cover it with a lid and let it cook for a good 30 to 45 minutes until it is really soft and tasty. And later on, I'm gonna serve it with some Nürnberger Bratwurst. That's gonna be a fantastic combination, and I'm sure the kraut's gonna be wonderful. So here we got some nice Nürnberger Bratwurst. And now let's get the kraut. So here we got it, my kraut. And you will find that this is of a much lighter color than when you buy kraut from a can or from a jar. That's because it's heated for the first time. When you heat it, the bacteria die and then it starts to oxidate. So if I keep this for a while, it will turn darker as well. But we're not talking about colors, we're talking about flavor. And that's what I want. Wow, that is absolute sauerkrauty sauerkraut. It tastes very well. Yeah, you got that sour taste, but also the saltiness. And it's still got a bite. It's not cooked dead. Yeah, I love that. It's definitely not gonna be the last time that I've made my own kraut. Let's try it with some piece of Nürnberger sausage. Perfect combination. Actually, what the people from Franconia do, from Nuremberg do, is that they take 3 im Weckler. That means 3 of those little breads in a breakfast roll. They add some mustard, they add some kraut, and eat it a bit like a Franconian burger, let's say. That's also a good combination. I don't have a roll here, so I can't try that. But I love the kraut. Yeah. I haven't opened this one. This is just so you see how it looks. I'm sure this is gonna be the same. This is a great German sauerkraut, and yeah, it's not a lot of work. You can do it at home and you have the authentic thing. I want to eat that now, so I'll wrap it up. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and tell your friends about my channel. Cheers on German kitchen. Cheers on German sauerkraut. Wunderbar.